Foregate Whiskey Company is back and back in a huge way with the release of the Kelvin 60. Let's talk about that today on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. Let's do this.
I come from, there ain't no strangers, other side of town, still my neighbor, no mind in your business. Every crime's got a witness. The good old boys are causing a scene. Gossip girls like spilling the beans.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm super excited to do this review. Had a pour of this about a week ago prior to doing today's review, and I wanted to get this done because I know it's newly released and people need to flat out know more about what the Kelvin 60 is from Foregate Whiskey Company. So here are some of the specs on the newest release from Foregate Whiskey Company, the Kelvin 60. The Kelvin 60 is coming in at 125.6 proof. There's a mash bill on this of 75% corn, 20% rye, 5% malted barley. It is age stated as 7 years old, and the MSRP is right around that $200 price point. So a little bit about what the Kelvin 60 is. Foregate has had a long-standing relationship with Kelvin Cooperage, an absolutely incredible cooperage. They produce some fantastic barrels. And what they've done with this is they have taken their original barrel of bourbons and barreled them in both new char and new toasted casks. So essentially we are dealing with a double oaked bourbon. I'm really excited to dive into this one. Want to get this out to you guys and just kind of let you know a little bit about what this one's about. So let's go ahead and take a look at the color on this. So as you can see, a beautiful rich mahogany color. The double oaking has really taken over on this and is really showing on the color of this. Beautiful legs, nice oils that are on this one. Let's go ahead and dive into the nose. So immediately, one thing I'm getting is just this rich overall nose immediately. It's one that you want or feel like you want to just take your time with. One thing I really love when I get on a bourbon is this rich, sweet tobacco note. And that's the first thing that I'm picking up immediately on this. Followed quickly by those rich burnt brown sugars. Nice vanilla or more of like a creme brulee. There's something that's got some heft to this one. Beautiful, rich, dark fruits. And I can't necessarily tell you what the fruits are. There's just this strong, rich, dark fruit note. Some nice kind of like toasted marshmallows. You're getting this kind of s'mores or campfire kind of effect without it being overly oaked or heavy on the barrel char side of things. Yeah, more of that chocolate, more of the chocolate that's kind of combined with, again, that marshmallow, a little bit of graham cracker. So when I said s'mores, that's a lot of what you're getting in addition to those really rich kind of tobacco notes, burnt brown sugars. Absolutely incredible nose so far. Maybe even some light toffee notes. There's just this overall richness that this thing has on the nose right away. It's just something that makes you want to just continue to nose it. You don't even have to go into drinking it. It's just one of those whiskeys that makes you want to explore it even more. With that being said, we definitely are going to need to taste this thing. But before we do, let's pay some bills around here and hear a word from today's sponsor. So let's face it, as we get older and after a night of drinks, you just don't bounce back the way you used to. Now I have to make the decision, do I want to have a great night or do I want to feel good the next morning? That's until I found ZBiotics. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. So how does ZBiotics work? When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your next rough day. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut, where you need it most. Just remember to drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, get a good night's sleep to feel your best the following day. So how simple is this to use? So I like to use ZBiotics prior to doing single barrel picks. Knowing that I'm going to be tasting through several barrels of whiskey, this assures me that I'm going to feel good and be productive the following day. Go to zbiotics.com/mybourbonjourney or scan the QR code on the screen right now to get 15% off your first order when you use my code MyBourbonJourney at checkout. You can also sign up for a subscription using my code so you can stay prepared no matter the time or the occasion. ZBiotics is back with a 100% money back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/mybourbonjourney and use code MyBourbonJourney to save 15% off your order at checkout. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring today's video. Let's go ahead and dive into this one and see what this is going to give us on the palate. Cheers. Wow. So like I got on the nose, this to me is like a liquid s'mores. And it's just that overall richness that you get immediately. You've got the chocolate, you've got the marshmallow, you've got the graham cracker, all of that. And when I say liquid s'mores, that is exactly what it is. Quickly followed by, again, that beautiful, sweet tobacco note. And again, that's something I absolutely love on a bourbon when you are combining that with some of that sweetness that's there. Again, those beautiful burnt brown sugars, it just really feels rich, dense, decadent. It's all of that. I'll even say a little bit of like a candied almond that you're getting combined with that s'mores effect. You've got the candied almond, beautiful oak on this, burnt brown sugars. One thing I will say is my tasting notes right now are not going to do this bourbon justice. It is one of those bourbons that you just have to taste for yourself. As much as I want to convey to you the richness, the decadence, the complexity, it is one of those whiskeys that you just flat out have to try. And I would say to anybody right away, if you're thinking about this, stop thinking about it, buy it. It is an absolutely incredible bourbon. And maybe, in my opinion, of everything that Foregate has done, this may be my favorite of all of them. Now, again, it's not necessarily what Foregate does all the time with a lot of their additional finishes that they do. Adding in the layers of both the new charred and new toasted barrels, it is adding to that complexity of their already high quality bourbons that they are getting. It is just an absolutely wonderful bourbon, and to say anything more without saying flat out, buy this thing, I don't know what else to say outside of it is just an incredible, incredible bourbon. Yeah, it's just one other thing I'm getting in addition is this kind of like rich, maybe chocolate covered espresso coffee bean. Again, it's just adding to all of the layers, the richness, the decadence. You're still getting, again, that nice spice that's there, maybe a slight hint of pepper on the finish, but it is layered very well. You've got the sweetness, you've got the tobacco, you've got a little bit of the oak, a little bit of pepper. The one thing, again, I'm going to stress is the fact that this is a bourbon that you just are going to have to flat out try for yourself. As much as I want to explain how much this bourbon is just working, it's difficult to put this into words. And one thing I was thinking as I was kind of tasting through this just the other day, it has a little bit of that King of Kentucky effect to it, maybe without the proof. However, the proof on this at 125.6, it is not drinking like that at all. It is dangerously easy to sip on. So with that being said, guys, take what I'm saying and multiply it times 2 or 3. Again, it is a whiskey that you are going to just have to flat out try. And I'm almost positive that once you try it, you're gonna wanna buy it. It is just that good of a bourbon. So with that being said, yes, I'm gushing over this. Again, 4Gate is one of my favorite companies out there. Love absolutely most of the things that they do. This one's just been elevated all the way to the top for me, for the most part. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you seek out from 4Gate Whiskey Company, the Kelvin 60. You can thank me later. It is that good of a bourbon. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me, you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to help support the channel and become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, make sure you check out that Patreon link in the description below. That down there along with a lot of other great things for you. So with that being said, again, remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.